For centuries, Japan was a land shaped by war, loyalty, and honor. At the heart of its history stood the samurai, the legendary warrior class whose code of discipline and bravery defined an entire nation. Their story is one of battles, empires, and traditions that echo through time. The rise of the samurai began during the Heian period. Around the 10th century, Japan was ruled by an imperial court in Kyoto, but outside the capital, powerful clans controlled the provinces. These clans needed warriors to protect their lands, collect taxes, and enforce authority. Out of this need emerged the samurai, skilled fighters loyal to their lords, bound by duty above all else. By the 12th century, Japan entered a period of conflict that brought the samurai to the forefront. Two great clans, the Taira and the Minamoto, fought for control of the empire. Their struggle became known as the Genpei War. This brutal conflict lasted from 1180 to 1185 and ended with the famous Battle of Dan no Yura, where the Minamoto defeated the Taira in a decisive naval clash. From the ashes of this war rose Minamoto no Yoritomo, who established the first shogunate, a military government that placed samurai at the center of Japanese power. The samurai were more than just soldiers. They followed a strict code called Bushido, meaning the way of the warrior. Bushido demanded loyalty, courage, discipline, and honor. A true samurai valued honor more than life itself, and many chose death by seppuku, ritual suicide, rather than living in shame. During the 13th century, Japan faced an outside threat unlike anything before. The Mongols, led by Kublai Khan, attempted to invade Japan in 1274 and again in 1281. The samurai fought bravely, but it was nature that turned the tide. Both invasions were destroyed by massive typhoons, later called the kamikaze, or divine wind. These storms saved Japan and gave the samurai an almost mythical status as defenders of their homeland. As centuries passed, Japan fell into chaos during the Sengoku period, known as the Age of Warring States. From the 15th to the 17th century, rival warlords, or daimyo, battled endlessly for power. Castles rose across the land, armies of samurai clashed in bloody battles, and Japan became a nation divided by war. In this time of turmoil, legendary leaders emerged. Oda Nobunaga, a brilliant but ruthless warlord, began unifying Japan in the late 1500s. He used new strategies, firearms, and unmatched discipline to defeat rival clans. After his death, his successor Toyotomi Hideyoshi continued the mission, bringing most of Japan under his rule. Hideyoshi even launched invasions into Korea, sending thousands of samurai overseas in one of Japan's boldest military campaigns. Finally, in the early 1600s, Tokugawa Ieyasu rose to power. At the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, he crushed his rivals and established the Tokugawa shogunate, which would rule Japan for over 250 years. This victory ended centuries of civil war and brought peace. But it also marked the beginning of a new chapter for the samurai. In the Tokugawa era, Japan closed itself off from much of the world. Samurai, once constant warriors, now served as administrators, teachers, and bureaucrats. Their swords remained symbols of honor, but their role shifted from battlefields to government. Still, their spirit and traditions continued to shape Japanese culture. By the 19th century, the world was changing. Western powers forced Japan to open its ports, and the age of the samurai began to fade. The Meiji Restoration of 1868 ended the shogunate and restored power to the emperor. Samurai privileges were abolished, their swords banned, and their way of life declared outdated. Many resisted, leading to the Satsuma Rebellion in 1877, where former samurai fought their final war against a modern Japanese army. Their defeat marked the end of the samurai era. Yet the legacy of the samurai did not die. Their values of honor, loyalty, and discipline lived on in Japanese culture, influencing art, literature, martial arts, and even modern military traditions. Today, the samurai remain a symbol of courage and integrity, remembered as warriors who defined the soul of Japan. The story of the samurai is not only the history of war. It is the history of a people who believed in something greater than themselves. From the Genpei War to the last stand at Satsuma, their battles and sacrifices carved the path of Japan, leaving behind a legacy that still inspires the world.